Hey guys, welcome back to the show, and on this episode, I'm going to be visiting some familiar territory. Years ago, I reviewed one of the best bad movies of all time, and one of my personal favorites, Samurai Cop. Now, Samurai Cop was written and directed by Amir Shervin, who wrote and directed this film a year before Samurai Cop. It's killing American style, as opposed to killing Australian style, or in my case, killing Canadian style. We kill with kindness. If any of you are actually interested, I will recut this movie and just leave in only the polite parts, and that will be killing Canadian style. So head over to my Instagram if you want to see killing Canadian style. Also, I put other stuff on there as well. Exclusive clips, stupid little videos. Now, you wouldn't be surprised to learn that killing American style is very similar to Samurai Cop. It features some of the same actors, it has a lot of the same music, and it's also filled with women, guns, sex, violence. You know, basically Amir Shervin's formula for creating the great American action movie. Like I said, a lot of the same actors that were in Samurai Cop are in this movie as well, like Robert Zadar, who sadly passed away 5 years ago. And I mean no disrespect when I say this, but his jawline has always scared the crap out of me. It just feels like he could take a solid bite out of a human body with very little effort. The movie starts with Tony and his gang of crooks deciding to rob a candy and ice cream truck company because in the middle of a summer afternoon in the 1980s, that's where all the money was. I'm serious, when I was a kid, I used to play outside all the time, and when that ice cream truck pulled up, it was the best way to refuel. I've just spent all day burning off all this energy. Of course I need sugar. Let the good times roll. The ice cream truck for kids is like what the golf course beer cart is like for adults. I honestly can't think of a better equivalency than that. Now on this show, I've covered a lot of older movies, and I have to say, this is one of those images that just screams 1980s. Like I said before, this movie features a lot of music that Amir Shervin would go on to reuse in Samurai Cop, such as this classic track, which sounds like the background music to a 16-bit video game. So Tony and the gang make their way to the office, and I love this reaction shot. Okay, so it says here in your resume that you can't do any kind of reactionary acting. Okay, you know what? That's fine. When the time comes, we'll just get a PA to jab you in the leg with a stick.
Don't look at me like that, you son of a bitch.
Well, how else is he supposed to look? What were your expectations coming into this robbery? So apparently they keep the money in a drawstring bag, which is good because we as the audience can just assume the bag is full of money, and that means the production doesn't have to worry about getting fake money as a prop. So now security has them surrounded.
Put your hand on your hips and come on out.
You are surrounded!
And is it just me, or does this seem like an excessive amount of security guards? I think I counted 7 at one point. I don't know, it just seems like a lot. But then again, I don't know. Maybe this is normal. As I said, ice cream money is good money. And see, now this is a smart man. He figures, well, if I'm dead, I'm just gonna try and fall onto these car seats and be comfortable as I die. Now the cops are shooting it out with them, and I gotta give points to Tony for style here. American style. So the cops arrest Tony's crew, and just check out this ADR.
You should take these mentioned prisoners to the maximum security prison.
So as they're transporting the prisoners by bus, we get even more action, as well as ever-changing cinematography. Anyways, it turns out that a member of Tony's crew that didn't get arrested and his brother pretend to be a couple in an accident in order to fool the bus into stopping. And they get away, but not before one of the guards shoots Tony's brother in the gut. Now just for a second, imagine you're an aspiring actor and you finally get cast in a movie. This is it. This is your time to shine. It's time to show them what you got. But there's just one problem. You lied during your audition. The scene requires you to talk on the phone. And you've never held a phone before.
How are the horses up in Fresno?
All right. Been concentrating on the doggies these days, though.
Have a hell of a better chance with them.
Is that the motel?
Yeah. This is the motel. We can stay here until the money comes.
Well, that's stupid. After all the killings, everybody's gonna know where we're at. We can't go to a motel. We're gonna have to find a house.
Now, luckily, I've never been a fugitive before, but I'm gonna definitely recommend not doing any of this. So, not openly discussing your plans for escaping the police and talking about how much killing you've done. So now we're introduced to John Morgan, who's wearing an outfit that is out of this world. Gold chain, pink overalls, pink jacket, and no nonsense. So Tony and Lynch try to sneak into the house through the backyard, but it doesn't go so well when Lynch gets distracted by the view.
Lynch!
Dora, look!
Wake up, Lynch!
You know, I gotta say, yes, Lynch should have been focused on the task at hand, but Tony, what the hell, dude? You're going for the element of surprise here, correct? Well, yelling is a good way to lose that.
What do you want? What do you want from us?
Open it! Open it, you bitch!
See, now this is where killing Canadian style would come in handy. Saying, "Open it, you bitch," probably isn't gonna yield the results you want. You gotta mix in a please here and there. So they bring in Jesse and get John's sister-in-law, who's a student nurse, to take a look at his gunshot wound.
He has to go to a hospital.
He's going to no hospital. You do something here.
But he's lost a lot of blood.
Do something, damn it!
Yeah, believe it or not, Tony, saying that twice isn't gonna magically change the situation. So Tony goes to make a phone call, and check this out. Talk about making a set with the least amount of resources as possible. I can just imagine this discussion with the director. Okay, so we actually don't have a location for this shot yet. We don't need a location, just find a wall, a table, a phone, and put some stuff on the table, make it look realistic. Okay, well, the next problem is we only have one light. Okay, just use that. Yeah, technically we could, but it's gonna look horrible. You're just gonna end up with this giant shadow. But you've got the light, right?
Motel. Okay, look, I'll be there, but I'm not going to bring the money. I'm not going to bring it all. I just think it's safer that way, all right?
Good. Mom, we've got to move fast.
I'm sorry, what? Mom?
Lynch, rip out every phone in the house except for the one downstairs. No one calls in, no one calls out.
Well, you don't have to rip them out of the wall. You can just disconnect them. You're in somebody else's house, remember? That would be the polite thing to do. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I forgot what movie I'm watching. Honestly, have you ever seen anything like this? I have never seen someone try to destroy a phone like this by just throwing it on the ground and kicking it. Now, again, I don't actually know this, but I would guess that the reason they did this and why conveniently you can't see the phone actually being destroyed is so that they don't actually break it, and that way they wouldn't have to buy another one. Little things like that can actually save you a lot of money on props. However, it kind of takes away from the production value. But you can also go to thrift stores or secondhand shops and just buy either used or outdated things. Works really well with laptops, apparently. Think about this. Have you ever seen a movie or a TV show where someone, out of anger, throws a phone against a wall? Probably because not only is it a good visual, but you can see the phone being damaged. You can see it being destroyed. Whereas here, we just have to assume that it's happening. And there's just something about the sound of the dinging that just makes this so much more comical. So John comes home wearing different pants for some reason, and check this out.
Drop it! Drop it, mister, or I'll blow her head off.
Okay, wait. This chick just kicked the guy with the shotgun down the stairs, and then suddenly, I guess that just resolved itself. I mean, now he's suddenly back on the stairs, and she's just gone.
Hi. I've got champagne. Everything inside me bubbles.
Hi. I have soft drinks. Everything about me is soft.
Hi. and I've got the hard stuff. 'Cause I love it hard.
Hi, I've got ginger ale. Because a lot of people think I'm only popular with the elderly and people who are feeling sick to their stomach, but I'm actually a perfectly acceptable choice for any occasion. So Tony tells John to go get a doctor, and John does, but the cops try to stop him. Now, this is the police, so I'm kind of curious as to why they chose this method to try and stop the van. Just stop, stop. See this? Hello? You see this? This is my hand going down. It means slow down. Yeah, this is what your speed should be doing. And the van just blows right past them, so they have to scramble to get into the car and turn on the siren, which makes me think, maybe you should have just done this in the first place. I also like how these two shots were clearly taken at different points during the day. So the doctor stops the bleeding, but Tony refuses to leave the house until they get the money that's being delivered to them. So this may not have looked like much, but what you don't see is that he actually hit Tony in his weak spot, which is any place that's not his jaw.
Don't answer it.
Don't you dare answer that phone. It's dinner time, and I spent all day cooking this watermelon. So apparently the doctor's wife called the police when her husband didn't come home, which is what they warned Tony would happen. Anyways, they pistol whip John, and this almost kills the guy. I mean, he can't do anything for the entire day. His son even steals a gun later and tries to give it to him, and he's just like, oh, no, I can't. So the cops manage to track down the money, which is being delivered by Tony's mom, who's saying, okay, what the hell is that? You honestly stuck with this shot? You couldn't go back and do a reshoot of a 2-second static shot and do it properly? Anything would have been better than this. A drawing would have been better than this. No cutaway would have been better than this. So John has to go pick up the money for Tony, and when the cops see John pull up to the motel, they decide to spy on him by posing as the bellhop. Really? You think this is a good cover? As if a motel would even have a bellhop, especially this place. The room doesn't even have an actual door handle. Of course, John doesn't fall for it, so after this fight, which is kind of cool and kind of awkward and kind of funny all at the same time, he meets Tony's mom and leaves with the money, but the cops are there to try and stop him.
Hold it right there. Get the hell out of my way. I can't do that.
Then John throws a gun onto the roof and hides the money before he goes inside. Then he lies to Tony that his mom wasn't there and there was no money, because that's a gamble you want to take with a bunch of guys who are constantly threatening to kill your whole family. So John's son manages to get the gun off the roof, and here we go, folks.
I'm going to kill them. German style.
Doc, you go to the window. I'll kill him. American style.
Oh shit, there it is. See, now the movie can kick it into high gear. They said the title. And the rest of the movie is exactly what you think it's going to be. Shooting, bad dubbing, inconsistent cinematography. But check out this American killing style.
The fire's over here.
Imagine missing in that situation. You know, you die because you tried some fancy shit. The final fight between John and Tony is actually pretty entertaining, just because of the amount of times that you can clearly see the fake kicks to the face. And if you're expecting anything but a quick wrap-up to this whole thing, you've come to the wrong place. It's pretty interesting watching this movie, especially if you're a fan of Samurai Cop, because it's almost like you can see how Amir Shervin managed to not learn from all the mistakes he made in this, and then go on to make one of the best bad movies of all time with Samurai Cop. So I will say that this is like Samurai Cop in some regard, but it's missing so many of the iconic elements that made Samurai Cop just so magnificent. Which is weird, trying to put it into words. It's almost like it's less good bad than Samurai Cop and more bad bad. As usual, I hope you guys had as much fun watching this video as I did watching this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.